Hey, what up all my tooth doctors and doctresses? Welcome to another video at the Tooth Factory. Today's topic is extravagant. It is an overview package of Masters in Public Health in Canada. You know, a lot of people always talk about this profession as a choice so good to take for students' visa that you'll definitely get a PR. But do you really know what Masters in Public Health really holds? What careers it has to offer? What kind of jobs? What salaries? What fields can you do? Can you put an impact on the community with the Masters in Public Health job? Well, you've come to the right spot. This video is going to take you on a very smooth ride through MPH. So hang on, and here we go.
Hey everyone, so let's begin at the University of British Columbia's website. If you remember, in the dental hygiene video, we spoke to you about the University of Alberta, but with the Masters of Public Health program, I'm going to choose the University of British Columbia's website. They have such a nice explanation that it goes perfectly in the flow. So let's talk about Masters of Public Health. First of all, what is Masters of Public Health? What I really want to focus on is this statement right here because it means everything. This statement: as a result, health promotion falls to social, economic, environmental ministries, correct? But the Ministry of Health are also key as well. But they often treat the illnesses more than they prevent it, correct? Awesome. But our Masters of Public Health focuses on illness prevention and health promotion. This right here is a definition of the 2-year program that MPH is. Any student of MPH program have gone on to have careers such as community health specialists, policy advisors, field epidemiologists, and project managers. These are very important jobs because at the end, you're going to prevent illnesses from spreading. And in times of COVID, we definitely need to focus on the public health aspect. So, what the University of British Columbia is offering is a 2-year program with a 6-credit practicum. So the breakdown is about 1.5 years program of theoretical studies in the course and about a 1 semester or about a half a year worth of practicum. And as I mentioned that all of these tabs are the whole concise of the entire course, I want to first take a look at admissions requirements. First of all, what you need is minimum, but that does not guarantee admission. So what you need to do is you need to know what you need and plus have a competitive score at it. So we're going to focus on international graduate's degree first. So let's see what it says here. It says in degree and GPA that the applicants must have an international credential with academic backgrounds to meet the minimum requirements outlined by the graduates and postdoctoral study of the country of origin, which means whichever country you come from, they have shown you what you need. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. That's the degree component of it, okay? That's the degree. What about GPA? Well, GPA is simple. The GPA, or grade point average, is calculated based on all courses that you took during your previous degree. And note that they do not accept transcript evaluations from WES, which means you're going to have to submit your documents directly to the University of British Columbia and they will take care of the GPA. So let's take a look at country-wise. Now, most of our viewers are from India, so I'm going to choose India as the country of origin. You can obviously choose whichever country you're belonging to. Let's click on India here. Now, notes on eligibility. What makes you eligible? Well, before we go ahead with anything, we just want to focus on the master's degree program, correct? So let's open that up. It's so simple. It says a 4-year bachelor's degree or a master's degree should be your background. So a BDS or an MDS. You need an overall of a first-class division. You need a minimum of 65%. If you have a 70, even better. And then credentials or degrees required. You either need a bachelor's in engineering a forestry or medicine, or a bachelor's degree. And this is where the BDS falls in. Then we're going to need a second requirement, which is English. So whenever English is not our primary language of instruction, then they're going to need English as a test modulation. All of those tests that you choose must have been taken within the last 24 months. And the whole purpose of this is for you to be advised to focus on learning how to speak, listen, read, and write. The students with strong English skills are more likely to do well with TOEFL. So basically they want to see if you have a high English proficiency. These are the acceptable tests, and generally people choose either TOEFL, which is a minimum score of 90 for the internet-based exam, and 55 for the reading, writing, listening on the paper-based test. Then comes IELTS. Generally, IELTS scores are a minimum overall band score of 6.5 in requirement, minimum of 6.0 in each component. Remember, this is an academic IELTS, not general. Okay, so that was the English test. Let's move on after the academic. Let's move on to the quantitative skills. Quantitative skills are basically their way of saying, can you take a GRE score? And GRE is not only English. It's got math in it. It's got other subjects like biochem. You could also take a GMAT. And the results in 50th percentile or above will be considered a high score for your application. And we already mentioned the English. So all of these, for international graduates degrees, you need a degree, you need a high GPA, you need a GRE or a GMAT test, and you need English test, which is either TOEFL or IELTS. Okay? This statement I want to point out here because it kind of contradicts what we just talked about. A score of 100 or higher on TOEFL or a score of 7.0 in the IELTS is considered minimum requirement. Remember, in the previous window we looked at, it had said 90 for TOEFL and 6.5 for IELTS. That's general in terms of just admission process. But for MPH, for competition, this is what you want to focus on. You want to aim for this. Okay? So that was academic requirements. Now, let me show you how you can apply. A lot of people have asked us in the comments on how to actually apply. Do you need somebody to help you apply? My answer, TheToooothFactory's answer, is no, you do not need anybody else to apply. It's a simple 6-step format. There's no reason that you can't do it by yourself. So let's take a look at it. First, you explore your options. You learn about Masters in Public Health. We just did. We talked about what Masters in Public Health is, and in times like COVID, how it really helps you. So our pass number 1, you explored your option, you chose MPH, and then you're going to review the requirements. Now, right before you review the requirements, if I were the applicant, I would contact the program staff. Why? Because COVID right now has put so much stress on the admissions process that things are changing day by day. So before you apply and pay the fees, I would actually contact the staff and ask, is it open? Can I apply? These are my credentials. Do you want me to apply now? When are the dates? You want to ask all those questions before you move on to step 2. Then number 2, you review all the requirements. And we just did. Your admissions requirements, we just discussed. Review the tuition and financial resources. And that's going to be our next topic on how much fees is it. Applications for Masters in Public Health will open October 15th and close December 15, 2020. Now, it is last year's dates. That's because this year hasn't opened yet, but it's good we're early. October to December is generally your time frame. There is a large volume of applicants each year. So, they strongly encourage applicants to submit all supporting documents as soon as possible before the deadline. If you guys are aiming for MPH and you want a career in such a white collar, perfect profession as a backup, you want to aim for October 15th. Be ready and apply and beat the competition, you guys. So how do you prepare all those documents? This is what the fees are charged for when you go to one of those consultants. Preparation of documents. What they really want from you is official transcripts, a CV, and a letter of intent. Okay? I want to explain this to you. Official transcripts are basically uploaded scanned copies of official transcripts, not provisional, official, from all post-secondary institutions, meaning your college time, including the front and back pages because they want to see the stamps on your degree. If the official document does not indicate the degree name or degree date, official copies of degree certificate must be uploaded. All of them must be in PDF format, and please note, there are different requirements for Canadian and US transcripts and international transcripts. In other words, what they're trying to say is if your international transcript is not in English, they will need a notarized copy of your translated degree. Then copies of transcripts. This is now transcripts. From UBC are not required. Well, for us, we're first-time applicants, so we'll need our BDS degree or your medicine degree from back home. And then comes curriculum vitae. Now, what is curriculum vitae? See, I really want to focus on this because generally you may have your 70%, 75%, but having a good curriculum vitae and letter of intent is important. I cannot stress enough how important this section is in applications. Professional experience for all applicants. Your CV is your playground. It's for you to have a detailed and up-to-date highlight of all your academic awards, achievements, honors, or other distinctions, publications, and everything you own, everything you can be proud of, your professional organizations, your education experience, your volunteership, everything you want to brag about, this is your forum. You want to make a very intriguing curriculum vitae. A letter of intent. Now, this is also something very tricky because you may have a competitive applicant against you, but if this is made really well, it'll tip you right off the edge. See, applicants are encouraged to have specifics in their letters of intent. They really want to have a clear articulation of your interests in pursuing MPH. Why do you want to join MPH? Basically, this is a letter that tells them that how will MPH fulfill your personal and professional goals. Make sure you avoid duplicating the information. You don't want to copy and paste from Google. Make your own. You need to have an identification of how you will use the skills and knowledge that you get from MPH, from their experiences in MPH, towards achieving identified goals in MPH. See, MPH, Masters in Public Health, is a very, very respectable profession where you're handling disease prevention and health promotion. So they take this very seriously. If your letter of intent is more than 700 words, it will not be considered. So make sure that you demonstrate an understanding of public health as a field and how it will help your personal and professional goals, and basically clearly articulate your interest in MPH. These are very important. And of course, it's very nice to have reference letters. So your professional or your academic institutions can give you nice reference letters. And we've already mentioned our quantitative requirement, where GRE is one of the most common tests taken, and TOEFL or English. You don't need both. A lot of people ask us this. No, you don't need both, you need one. Okay? And the permanent resident card, if required. You don't really need a permanent resident card in this because this is not a doctoral program. Generally, doctoral programs require that. Then step 4, you're going to apply online. Okay, so it's an online application. It takes about 45 to 60 minutes, nothing big, to complete your online application, and a credit card is required. So the application fee right here for Canadian citizens permanent residents is $108. But for international applicants, that turns into $168.25. That's how much you have to pay. Once you made an application online, right here in this portal, so let me just, since we're here, I just want to open it and show it to you. So you have an application form, you click on apply now here. Once you click apply now, you're going to have to create a CWL account. So you click on CWL right here. You click on here. Then you're going to make your identity here. So put all of that information in there. Then you're going to set up a password, select your recovery questions, and activate an account. It's that simple. You make an account, you select your course, you pay the $168.25 Canadian dollars, and now you're moving on to step number 5. You keep checking your application status. Now remember, by this time, you have explored your option, you have reviewed your requirements, you have prepared your documents as we discussed in detail, then you have applied online with payment of the first fee, and then you keep checking your application status. And number 6, when you do get an acceptance, you accept it, and then you pay your deposit. See, now we're talking into money, right? First we talked about $168.25, now we're talking about a deposit, which is $250. Basically what this amount is it's your seat. So they offer you, but you're accepting it. So what is the guarantee that you will show up for this program? It is a $250 non-refundable deposit, which means, how is the deposit non-refundable? Well, this will be used towards your academics, your fees of study. So now let's talk about tuition and financial resources. Tuition and fees for international students on study permit, we got a total of $34,424 Canadian dollars. This is for 2 years, which means each year is going to be $17,000, and this is per installment. Now, the university understands that we can't really have $17,000 sitting in our bank account every academic year. So they allow a annual tuition being paid out in 3 installments per year. So they allow that. They give you a $5,737 margin every 3rd installment in 1 year, which means you're going to pay 6 times this amount over the 2 years. Okay, that's perfect. And as I mentioned earlier, that when you accept the offer of admission, a $250 non-refundable, non-transferable acceptance deposit in Canadian currency is required. The deposit will be credited towards your tuition, and that is the payment. Now, career paths and alumni. This is a very interesting area of discussion here, because I really like drawing people's attention towards what careers the MPH can get you. A lot of people don't know much about this, so let's talk about it a little bit. You can get some work in ministries of health. We're talking government here, health authorities for disease prevention and health promotion. You're going to get jobs at Center of Disease Control. A lot of people want to get jobs at the CDC. The government agencies responsible for housing, poverty reduction, children and family development, transit, finance, environment, and so much more. You can take part in research institutes or NGOs, such as the Black Lives Matter or the Child Care Advocates. Now think about it. When you graduate this program, you will have so many skills. You will have skills to practice public health, to develop health promotion policies for a wide range of issues, including COVID. That's what the WHO is doing right now. And evaluate the existing programs. Our graduates at the University of British Columbia have gone to work in epidemiologists, your research coordinators, monitoring and evaluation specialists, policy analysts. These are very, very important jobs. So MPH is usually just taken as, an entryway into Canada. But I personally take a look at MPH as a career. At ToooothFactory, we don't want people to just look at, the amount of money. Yes, absolutely, there is some salary. There is a way into the permanent residence into Canada if you graduate and have a full-time job. But what job will give you the opportunity to work for poverty reduction, children and family development, or for Moms Against Drunk Driving, tackling new changes to the cannabis? There's so many health-related management jobs that are needed. You can have an entire movement based on epidemiology. The employment rates are through the roof. 82% of recent MPH graduates were employed. That is extremely high. Also, salary. A lot of people really ask this, and the information on the University of British Columbia's website is verified. According to 45 respondents to the alumni survey, 40% were earning between $60,000 to $80,000 per year. 26% were earning $80,000 per annum. Therefore, the median average salary became $73,990. $73,990 is well above average. Consider this amount right here, $73,990, as around $35 per hour. That is an incredible amount of salary. So I'll let that sink in a little bit. If there are any concerns, you always can email your program coordinators for all of your entire MPH programs. I personally know that any admission-related queries you may have, this email is the fastest method to talk to. So, Masters in Public Health. Remember when we said that there was a theory and a practicum? Let's move on to that little part right there on practicum. What is practicum? We know what theory would be, right? What about practicum? The Masters of Public Health Practicum is a 12-week supervised experience program in community health agencies. You are going to be firsthand. You're going to be including participation in agency programs, attending meetings, having projects to the supervising agency. You're going to have a final report. You're going to be on the field working with health. The students can undertake their practicum in international locations. A lot of people get to work for such as, Excellence in HIV/AIDS and Contraception Access Research Team. You could have a Public Health Agency of Canada as your choice of work. You can work in the health field in many different placements. That is a practicum. Imagine the experience that you will have in this. So, this was Masters of Public Health. Isn't it attractive? Well, it's good to know the details of all of these courses, but not everywhere is this mentioned really, really well. But University of British Columbia's website has it set out so perfect in the School of Population and Public Health. I have put the link in the description box below, and to manage to find all of these informations and put this script together, I also want to give a shout out to the co-founder of ToooothFactory, Dr. Kanan Shah, who's always relentlessly working in the background, and she's also my wife, so thank you. And so let's move on with the end of this video, and the next topic is going to be about Masters of Health Administration. Thank you, everyone.
Alright guys, we hope you learned something new today, and I hope MPH has now become a different perspective than just another course for students visa. Stay tuned for more videos. Our next topic is Masters of Healthcare Administration. We're going to do the same drill, so it's really easy to understand and you can actually access the websites of those universities yourself. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching at the Tooth Factory.